Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Co-Dependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show, and I'm your host, Ian, along with the hosts, Jarrod and Dave. We are the trinity of the Couch Co-op. We bring you the gaming goodness that you need to protect you from all the garbage opinions out there. You can have our shitty ones. Anyway, how's everybody doing this evening?
Good. Yourselves?
Good and tired.
Good. It was a good Sunday. It was a good day, as Ice Cube would say.
It was a good day. Very busy.
Could do with about 3 or 4 more of these.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's supposed to be nice. You know. I just wish it was a weekend all the time. I have a couple more weeks till I'm on break.
Yeah.
Summer holiday.
My worst 2 days of work are upon me. It's graduations on Monday and Tuesday, 12-hour days. Yay!
No thanks.
Up at the convention center, or not the convention center, the Sunlight Supply Amphitheater.
Oh, the amphitheater in Ridgefield?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good times.
Lots of people graduating.
Yeah. But this time of the year is very cool because right now it's Summer Gamefest. I guess we could have the horn right here, I suppose. Oh. Where's the air horn?
Go for it.
Where is it? Oh, here. No. Oh, here it is. Anyway, it is Summer Gamefest time. Kicks off. Actually, Sony kicked off with their show, and then all the other shows are happening. And then, unfortunately, we'll miss Ubisoft show because that's tomorrow. So maybe I'll record something a little bit about Ubisoft. But, I mean, they showed Ubisoft stuff. But before we get to all of that cool new video game shit, I want to hear about all the old video game shit that happened in this day in gaming history. Jarrod, take it away.
Oh, video games. So, I just did a couple days worth. Yesterday, the 8th, the origins of Disney's Dave and Aaron Rescue Rangers.
Chip and Dale's?
Nice.
In 1990. So it's 34 years old. Yeah, Chip and Dale. I loved that game back on NES. I played tons of that.
It's a great game.
And we gave Dave and Aaron that nickname a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was fun. It's even in our Discord.
Chip and Dale.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And also,
we will rescue.
Same day, back in 2010, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker was released 14 years ago.
Oh my god. I bet this will not be the last time we mention Metal Gear Solid tonight.
No, it's not going to be. No, but then today, June 9th, Killer 7 came out in Japan.
Holy shit.
On GameCube and PS2.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Killer
I never
7.
got to play the game, but it always looked super interesting.
I've never played Killer 7. That's a Suda51 game. I have Killer
it's
is
one
dead,
of those games that,
but I don't have Killer 57.
We've all heard of it. We all remember it coming out, but I don't know anyone who's actually...
Because the trailer was super bad, yeah.
I've never seen it out in the wild used either. It's like one of those, like... I wonder what that costs on... It can't be that expensive, though.
Famous last words.
Yeah, right.
But,
it's like
the last game I wanted to mention, I'm sure most of us have played it, for the Sega Genesis. It came out in 1994. 30 years ago came Earthworm Jim.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved that game.
Fun.
I played them on Super Nintendo.
Very
personally.
difficult game.
Very. Yep. I did eventually beat the first one. I don't think I did the second one.
I've never beat any of them.
Nah, neither have I.
I couldn't even tell you which one is the first one or the second one, really. I've played them both.
I've played a bunch of them, but I can't remember which ones I've played.
They just seem all similar. But, yeah. Cows. There's cows, I know.
Yeah,
the
silly
drop
jokes.
and launch.
Yep.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah, but some goodies.
There you go.
Some actually two that I'd still love to play. I've never played Peace Walker.
Oh.
And I've never played Killer 7.
I let you borrow my Peace Walker, but you need a PS3.
That's true. I don't have a PS3.
You could loan
actually,
a PS3.
Jarrod just needs to download the PSPPSSPP app, and then you can get Peace Walker free.
That's
through
right.
the gods that have things available to them. And play it on your backbone.
The people that archive video games.
Anyway.
That's true.
Illegally
That's true.
archive video games.
Yeah. We may or may not support that activity
Yes.
in some extent.
Or no.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Thank you, Jarrod, for that. This day in gaming history.
Yay.
Yay. Woo. And we'll kick it over to Dave really quickly to Dr.Demo. Do you have a buy, try, die for us to sample this week?
Yeah, I played a little game. I think it's by Ubisoft actually.
Oh.
Called Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Oh yeah, that game feels great.
They have a demo of it, and yeah, it's a really solid kind of 2.5D platformer. You can't it does kind of go into the screen, but it doesn't, if you know what I mean. It's like the world you kind of come round, but
Has
it reminded
depth.
me. Yeah, it was a totally Jarrod type game. I could see him really enjoying that.
Oh yeah, I
I
loved
don't
the
know
demo.
why, but recently platformers have been really annoying me, so it was not what I was in the mood for. But it was a really good one, and the guys were really good, and I could almost see it perhaps having a God of War-esque story, if you know what I mean, like actually a good story in there. And so after I played it, I looked up the reviews. I mean, it gets like 8 out of 10 on IGN and 86% on Metacritic. So, I mean, if you do like those, you want kind of a 2D side scroller, time your jumps type adventure game. I think it's definitely where you want to be. Action adventure.
It's it got a lot of positive feedback when it came out. It also, as you progress through it, you start unlocking more fighting powers. But
there was some progression there, because I even with my little bit, you could put different amulets on that would give you different like strengths and powers, and I like the fact that they voiced all the story as well. It wasn't just you could read it, but there was also voice acting there that was pretty decent. And so
the one of the mechanics that it pilots, because it's a Metroidvania where you would kind of go and then you find your power and then you come back to other areas, to open other areas. It allows you to take a photo and then like save the spot on your map.
Yes, I got to that bit. It was really cool. Yeah.
So if you got a power and then you forgot where you needed it, you could recall it and come back.
Yeah, you can
to
like
the area.
take photos of the level in where you are, because that was just like the brief demo-ness. I mean, there was a lot of kind of like looping back if you wanted to, or unlocking things and like secret walls and that kind of stuff. Totally a Jarrod game.
Absolutely.
I believe it's on sale 100% right now, right? I think it's.
I keep seeing a physical Switch edition at Walmart for like $30, and I keep thinking I should just snatch it.
Yeah, I think it's on sale.
I think it'd be a really good Switch game actually, because it's one of those things that you can drop in and drop out of. I felt like you could do that pretty easily. It'd be a good thing to play for 10-15 minutes when you've got some time.
I've played a lot of that style of game on the Switch, like Shantae, Metroid games. Blaster Master had a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of
Hollow Knight.
Yeah, Hollow Knight. Yeah, I played tons of. Well, actually, I finished Hollow Knight on Switch and then dumped another dozen or so hours in the PlayStation. Then I played it on the Xbox and so on and so forth.
It's supposed to be really polished and really just really well put together.
Yeah, of all the games I've played of that style, it's like, I think that's one of the best ones, and I could see why people would want to play it. It's not for me.
So it's funny, with that genre, the counter system, I really enjoyed it in Prince of Persia, yet Metroid Dread, I didn't want to parry. That's not what I expected out of a Metroid game. But a game that introduces it like right up front, it's like, hey, this game has this, and this is what you're gonna do. It was fun, and the challenge was welcome.
And then Prince of Persia also allows, with like the jewels, like Dave is talking about, to allow like modification to that parry system. So like if you needed a little extra moment on that parry window, it allows that. So
Yeah.
like, it's way more forgiving and kind of allows you to tailor your gameplay style
Yeah.
to the game, which is really cool.
Which is great. Yeah, I absolutely want to play that game someday. I wanna get a copy.
Cool.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like definitely a try. I wouldn't buy it, but I wouldn't say, if you bought it tomorrow, I'd be like, I could totally see why you would buy that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm honestly surprised I haven't bought it yet.
There's just too many games, man.
Yeah, I'm
I know.
playing all kinds of stuff right now. I've been working on for months, and I think this month or next month I'll just have a bunch of stuff thrown down on my beat list.
I think in some respects, it's just hard to make a splash, isn't it? Because this game came
yeah.
out in January, and it's
Well, actually, it came out at a perfect time because there was nothing. So it actually came out at a really good time. Now we're talking like late into the summer or early into the summer. It's going to get crowded. Yeah.
I was also surprised though. I was looking for demos today, and actually this one wasn't today, but the other day I was looking today for next week, and it's just like there's very few demos of like what I would call full price or not full
AAA,
price, but
like the AAA, the big games. Yeah.
Yeah, the big games. There are a couple of Final Fantasy demos and that kind of stuff, but there was a lot of junk.
Yeah. It's a funny climate, the demo or environment, the demo landscape.
Yeah.
I think the biggest AAA kind of was the Stellar Blade one that you reviewed a couple weeks ago. And we haven't really had anything of that caliber since.
No, there was a Resident Evil 4 VR demo. I just didn't really want to put the VR.
Let's have Dave break it out.
It's
put the bucket on your head, Dave. Put it on your head. Well, okay, so that's a try from Dave, but he would recommend if it's your style of game, so you should maybe buy it if you're.
Yeah, I could totally see how someone who likes that style, it's like catnip. It would be like, this because it is very well polished. It felt good. The controls felt good, even to me.
I should try it. I mean, I'm not gonna play it, but I should try the demo.
Yeah. I mean, it's out there. You might as well put your Switch to use. So you could try it on the Switch. It's a perfect type of game for the Switch.
Don't start. Don't even.
I mean, you could start playing Bayonetta 3, but that's
anyway.
That's the Switch.
All right. Well, as Dave. Not Dave. Thank you, Dave. As Jarrod was alluding to, there's too many games. As I mentioned earlier, it is Summer Game Fest, and a bunch of games were announced. And a bunch of games were announced actually for releasing this year. But what was even more astronomically crazy is the amount of games that are coming out next year. Next year is going to be a wild year
Crazy.
for video games. This year it's an awkward year. It's an awkward year. But a bunch of stuff was announced this year. A bunch of stuff was showed off. A bunch of stuff. Some stuff was announced. Some stuff we've known about for a long time. Some stuff has been announced and then we didn't hear from for a while, and now we're seeing it again. Before we talk about the games, is there just any? I don't know. It's funny. We're three mid-40-year-old men who still kind of play. I mean, some of us play video games quite a bit. Some of it, I ebb and flow. Jarrod's always playing. David kind of plays. Is there anything that you really care about, like you were hoping for, or that you had heard about a while ago that you're looking forward to, and like, or do you even care anymore, Dave?
I must admit, like, I have a list here of about 30 things I watched for, and quite a lot of them I was just like, I'm not that interested. But the other thing that struck me was there's a couple of game series, like I've never played a Fable game. I've never played Perfect Dark.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I kind of, those could be interesting to me. And then the one that stuck out to me actually was Assassin's Creed, because it looked like Ghost of Tsushima.
It looks really
Basically,
good.
I think it looked like they just ripped that game off like left, right, and center and made an Assassin's Creed game. So that'd be interesting to play, because I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Origins, and I really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. So that like witch's brew with the two of them might it'll either be awesome or it'll be like meh.
Dave, did you only watch trailers or did you watch any of the actual conferences?
I didn't watch any of the conferences. I've been busy the last
Just
couple
watching,
of days, so I
just kind of
caught up on
watching.
trailers. Yeah,
How about you,
I must
Jarrod?
admit.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was going to say the trailers were a lot of them were very light on depth and just like some graphics, you know.
Yeah. Here's your
But they were all
cinematic
highly polished. I
trailer.
mean, they were all good. It was just like after you'd watched a couple of them, it's like, oh, and here's the template.
Now, is that you saying that because you're just jaded at this point, or do you think that if you had seen the like if this had been shown, I don't know, in a different time frame in your life, would you have been blown away?
Probably. I think part of it is I must admit it's like it's the same issue I have with like movies. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it's like it's a lot of sequels. It's a lot of like universes that I'm familiar with and all the rest of it. And so some of the games looked like
Been here, done that.
like yeah, it's like Call of Duty 6. I mean, I love they used Firestarter in the trailer, and the trailer was pretty cool. But I'm like, I've played that iterations on that game for the last 20 plus years. It's like,
And how is it really going to be different? Like,
yeah, how can you
Mhm.
really make that exciting and different? So
Or even like, can they make it much different, or is their current huge fan base?
hey, Jarrod, Microsoft is making it different. It's going to launch on all platforms at the same time.
yeah, I did think it was like Microsoft did have a good showing of games for the Xbox, but
Yeah, the Xbox showcase was awesome.
Jarrod, how about you? How do you feel about like not necessarily the games, but just like what is your your temperature on this like climate of the video games going into this? Were you expecting things? Did you pretty much just see what you expected, or was there some actual surprises? Did you watch any of the conferences?
I watched the PlayStation conference. I watched a good chunk of the Summer Game Fest one, and then I kind of skimmed through the Xbox one. Like, oh, it's the Call of Duty like 8-minute section, so I'll skip through this, and
Right.
I was just kind of chumping it up. But that's
you're not
as far as
excited
I
for the
know.
dude,
All
bro. You didn't need 8 minutes to
no,
do, bro.
Hey,
I'm not sure if
I
I
will.
missed anything.
Let's not talk about the
I
games
haven't
yet.
had a chance to like browse the news or anything like that.
Let's
So I
not
just
worry
had
about
to.
the games. It's just like I just want to know about what your interest level in this. Like this, because if we think about this, this is like this is the
This
death
is
of
E3.
E3. E3's done. This is what we have now, and I'm just curious. Like,
I was actually, to be quite honest, I was actually pleased to see like everything condensed into a manageable. Like, yeah, I didn't watch it live, but there was lots of coverage, and you could kind of, it was nice to see like all the news and everyone competing for attention and stuff. So I think it did succeed, if you know what I mean, in like the excitement level. Some of the games, there wasn't anything necessarily that was super like on my radar, but then there's nothing super on my radar. But I thought Doom looked really good. Anyway, but that
we'll get to
we
that.
can talk about things.
Jarrod, you're excited, not excited.
I didn't really have a ton of expectations. I was going into it excited, of course. Every year around summer, I get excited to see what's coming, and there's definitely a lot of indie stuff that looks really interesting. So I'm excited to see that the indie crowd is really going nuts on some of the stuff, and I mean, Microsoft, I kind of figured they had to show a lot of their cards.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had expectations for that show, and I think they definitely presented what they needed to. I
Probably the
Yeah,
really
they
do.
best. They showed a lot of just
they did
bangers.
Yeah, they definitely had the best lineup, and like not all the games are my games, but they
Right.
were very strong.
Hey, you
like,
guys spend all this money on all these studios. You
Yeah.
guys really got to show out, or shut up. You guys got to do something. You got to put out at some point here.
Yeah, the trouble is in 6 months you've got to be talking about the games that you were talking about this summer, but you've also got to be talking about the next ones. If you're still talking just about these games, then it's not enough, if you know what I mean.
I
And
love
that's
this.
not to say that any of these are terrible. It's
Right.
just that's the way it is. It's like,
I love this time of year because it always reminds me that there's only a couple weeks left of work, and then I'm off for the summer, and so it's like I get to watch all this video game stuff, and then
salt,
and then it's like
pour it in the wound.
yeah, it's like goodbye, Ian. You are off to either have fun or play video games or go on your merry adventures.
So what's your video game of the summer?
Well, we're not talking about that yet. We'll get to that shit later. I would say that I haven't really been that excited for this kind of stuff lately. I don't know, maybe because we have a podcast and we talk about video games all the time, and I'm just like, maybe I'm a little jaded about it. It's like, I don't know what they're going to talk about. There's not a real game that I'm like super jonesing for, or I'm kind of in this, like, I love playing video games. I mean, I'd say I play more than Dave, and I'm excited about it more than probably Dave is overall, but at the same time, it's like, I'm also jaded like Dave in the sense of like, I've seen this, we've played this, and we've seen so many.
Yeah,
we've seen so many of these conferences. It's like, oh, here we go. Let's march the person out. Let's stand them in front of a green screen. It's like, is this a good presentation? A lot of my production from a jaded television production standpoint, ultimately, it's really just a commercial after a commercial after a commercial. Yeah. There's not a lot of actual conference stuff like there used to be. It's all managed for time, so it's all this kind of like.
Yeah, you've got 2 minutes. You got to sell this thing.
Yeah, here it's just a commercial, and then maybe a slate that says on Game Pass, set out to die. It's just this very kind of only on. I don't know. So the only real conference that I really enjoyed and thought is a lot of fun, and I think it's worth watching. I posted it in the Discord. It actually has a story, a through line. Is the Devolver Digital? It's like 20 minutes. I think it's 100% worth watching. The games,
they always are.
The games announced in it they're just some indie games they look fine. They're probably not your cup of tea, Dave, but I think the fucking storyline
was a yawn before you said that.
The storyline is fucking epic. And the way they use that storyline throughout to tie all the game trailers into it, and then the ultimate ending it's such a great little piece of like, that's fucking edgy and cool and fun, and it made me laugh. And but yeah, so I approach these just like, well, what are they gonna show? And I would say Summer Game Fest was a pretty big snore. The Jeff Keighley part, that was just kind of boring. Like, and then Xbox is probably the winner because I can't imagine Ubisoft tomorrow being this great.
Yeah,
it'll be like a deep dive into Assassin's Creed Shadow.
Historically, Ubisoft has not been a great conference, so.
It did seem like Xbox
really brought it.
Yeah, brought
but they had to. They had to.
But by the same token, they also did, which is like a little different because just because you have to doesn't mean you do.
All right. So I want to get into. I'm going to talk briefly. I'm going to share some games from the PlayStation Showcase that was a little earlier, and then I'll run through some games on Summer Game Fest, and maybe if you have any. And then we'll talk about the Xbox Showcase. I did watch the PC Showcase, but that was a snore, and I'm not going to talk about any of that shit.
Yeah, I watched the PC Showcase last year, and I was like, oh, okay.
Like,
somebody's excited about this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Anyway, so I just wanted to mention a couple games from the PC or the PlayStation Showcase we're getting that I think is like super interesting. So first of all, the first one they announced that is super interesting to me is the fact that there's a Horizon Zero Dawn Lego game coming, and then it's releasing day on date on PlayStation, Switch, and PC.
Yeah, so bizarre.
I think
Yeah,
that's wild.
I did think that was wild, and then the trailer was all that like snarky hot dog Lego humor, and I'm
Classic
like,
Lego humor.
yeah, and to be quite honest, I don't know, I that just doesn't work for me, but that's just me personally. So it's
Right.
like, and plus it's a Lego game. I'm kind of like,
Not your thing. But I think
no,
it's smart. Like you get all these kids playing a PlayStation property, especially maybe some parents, and then supposedly what is it, Netflix that has the Zero Dawn license?
yeah.
So there's a show coming.
I'm kind of surprised though that it's on Switch.
It's a Lego game.
I know, but by the same token, it's like a PlayStation property. It's kind of like
Well, how many Switches are out there though in the world?
true. There is that.
If you're looking at the way I saw it, is that we need to be making more money. Because these games are expensive. We need to, and maybe we can make a cheap Lego game and refund some of these other games that we have to fucking make that are exclusive on our console and then still a little bit on PC. I think I see this as a money making scheme.
Oh, I have no doubt with you that like that is what's going on, because it's like if it runs on the PlayStation, it will run on Switch all day long. It's like,
and then you have just a great audience of children that like Legos, and so maybe you can get them interested in this Lego game. I think
Legos with dinosaurs,
mech dinosaurs.
Yeah,
it doesn't even. They don't even
awesome.
have to know what the property is, and it's basically a retelling of the first game anyway. So it doesn't. I don't know. I think it's smart.
I said
think
that the wrong way. If it runs on the Switch, it'll run on the PlayStation.
It's all right, Dave.
Thinking, like, huh?
I was like, oh.
I didn't want to correct you.
No,
people out there know, except Tony Death, who's like east of Eden on that shit. But let's and then the other game. There's a bunch of other games that were announced. I'll name one more. Because, did they show? They did show it at Summer Games Fest too, but they teased again a game that Jarrod and I are both super interested in, and that's Monster Hunter Wilds.
Very excited.
Yeah, I did watch the trailer. It looked kind of cool, but I just didn't like the first Monster Hunter. So not my
day-night cycle. The
weather
systems, the new monsters. It's just new weapons. I don't remember. Could you fire your weapons from the mounts last game?
No.
I don't think so. This one you can. I
didn't do a lot you can summon so quick, like in the middle of a battle, to do different attacks, and you can dual. Well, I think the mount can carry weapons, so you can switch on demand and things like that. So it has a lot of potential to be way complicated.
I just know when this drops, Jarrod and I are going to waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that game and I'm like, this is like,
I can't.
You
wait.
guys and my brother and like,
you know what's funny though? It's like I was never a big Monster Hunter guy. I never got into it, and then so this one is just like, this is the proper sequel to World, and it's just like and it looks so good, dude. It looks so pretty. Mm-hmm. And the hair on some of those furry giant monsters, ridiculous. Pretty wild.
Did they say whether or not that's going to be on past gen consoles?
I think that's over. Well, it has to be on. Technically, it has to be on Xbox Series S.
Well, I mean, that's not past gen though.
Oh, past gen. Well, that's kind of a past gen console. You're right. I don't think it's on past gen. I don't think it's going to be on PS4. I think it's PS. I think it's next. I think everything coming out is next gen only. I don't think anything is.
So. I hope so.
I don't think it's coming on PS4. And then the other game that I wanted to talk to from the PlayStation Showcase, unless someone else has someone other from that showcase, the Astrobot. Astrobot, a proper full-on platforming game to go up against Mario. So this is very cool. Very excited for this, but it's also a big fuck you to Jarrod because it's not in VR.
Yeah, I wish they added a VR mode or something like that. That'd be awesome. But I'm okay that they didn't, because I loved Astro's Playroom so much. They
Yeah.
did such a good job on it.
I'm very excited.
I want more of it. I even jumped into Astrobot. Well, no, Astro's Playroom because they had a big DLC patch, and they added an extra portal in the PlayStation Labo section, so you can go in there, and it's where different items would pop up because they added more stuff to that little uh, gotcha machine where you pull the handle. It's room to display the newer models of like the PlayStation screen, the VR set 2, VR
right.
headset 2, and also little display pieces for when you collect the new characters from each of the levels that are popping up every week.
I think it's just
Um,
smart of them to like use their history as like their kind of like
yeah, that's their platform. It's
content
awesome.
and style of their game. Like God of War, Kratos is gonna show up in the game, or Propa the Rappa is gonna show up in the game.
Oh, they were
or,
all in Astro's Playroom.
well, they were, but like being able to play as them or dress up as them in the game, in this new game, is exciting. It's fun. Like it's really playful with your
that's
with
cool.
your
I'm excited.
So I just think it's really cool that that's what they're doing, and Mario has needed proper competition for so long, and there hasn't been. When was the last time? I mean, it's just Sonic, right? Sonic's really the only.
Yeah, Sonic took a good run at it, but never.
Yeah, maybe some indies here and there. What Ukulele came out a long time ago.
Wasn't there a like in the 90s?
Crash,
there
I
were
guess.
A bunch of like
Crash
Sonic
Bandicoot?
and Mario wannabes, but like, yeah.
I don't know. I just think the way that like that playroom and that platforming in that game was so creative and different than anything.
Felt great. Yeah.
Just different and fun, and like I'll play a game of that, dude, for sure. Very excited.
I will
for
buy that game. Yes.
Um,
It's only going to be $60 for the standard edition.
I'm
I'm glad it's not a $70 title.
but I get it being. I would get it if it was a $70 title because Mario is a $70 title, and why is Mario?
I want to support Astrobot.
Why is Mario? I'm curious though if they do come up with VR. Like it's like just they're not like saying it yet. It'd be interesting.
I have my doubts. I mean, PlayStation VR 2 right now is $100 off. Jump in, guys.
Yeah, but they're not supporting it, Jarrod.
No, they're not. There's one VR game in their PlayStation showcase.
There was two.
And it looked interesting. Yeah, okay. But yeah, there was
the Alien one, and then there was the slashy one.
Were you jazzed for Batman Arkham Shadow on the
but that's on Meta
Quest 3?
I never even played the Batman VR title on like the original one.
This one?
I never wanted to pay for it.
Like Arkham Asylum.
Oh, I didn't know you had it. Okay.
Yeah.
I have it, Jarrod, if you want to borrow it.
I might.
You probably haven't got it for free, no?
No. Yeah. But VR, that's a conversation for another day. I have
Well, I'm just saying, like, were you expecting them to like show more VR than they did, or it was just like you knew it was over?
I didn't think so, because I mean, just they haven't really been doing anything, and it's crazy because when PlayStation VR first came out, the original one, you could get demo discs. There was loads of demos, and this right now, there's only like 7 or 8 demos in the store after this long for PlayStation VR 2. I've played all of them. I'm like, I'm good. I bought several games and played and loved them, and I haven't gone into it for a little while. Most often, I use it as like a second screen in my house, so I can watch shows and stuff that my girls can't watch, stuff like that.
There was a fucking bug in here.
Yeah, but game-wise, I don't know. My time is limited, so like I'm not spending a lot of it in a bucket. I'm spending a lot of it out in the garage playing on my PC or my PlayStation I hooked up to my computer monitor. So yeah, VR hasn't been a priority lately.
Okay. Well, let's move on from Sony, and we'll go to the proper Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, where he talked about video games, and he talked about the struggles that we've been having this year because, layoffs and all of that stuff. And he talked about also how, God, this bug is going to drive me nuts. Anyway, how most of the big hits that have been out this year have been indie games. And that maybe these indie games would be the focus moving into the future that would save the industry. And we should have looked at that because most of these games, it wasn't a very like chock full of AAA titles. It was pretty. I mean, I guess there's a lot of AAA stuff, but it was all very kind of like. If I go down the line, like who cares about Harry Potter Quidditch Champions?
Oh yeah, that's on my must-buy list.
It's on your there's No More Room in Hell 2. Some more zombie shit. Obviously, Star Wars Outlaws. I'm excited for.
Was that free to play?
No, that's the big Ubisoft Star Wars open world game. That's not free to play. That's proper. That's what you play. You play a scoundrel.
Okay.
That comes out what, August? When's that come out? Soon. Yeah, August.
It's a birthday gift for you, I suppose.
August 30th.
Yep.
I don't think any of us play Civilization, but Civilization 7 was announced.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that game was up to number 7. I remember playing the original one on my, the very first PC I had. And
never played it
a lot.
I've never played Civ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played Civilization 1, and then I think I tried to play Civilization 2 or 3, one of those, and it was just like, just the wrong time.
They also seem like giant time sinks.
Yeah. Yes, I think that was part of it. It was just like, just the wrong time in my life to play such a complex game.
And then, like Dave mentioned, Batman Arkham Shadow. Is that something that interests you, Dave? You brought it up. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I watched the trailer, and I mean, it looked really cool. It does make me wonder, it's like, so it's only for the Oculus Quest VR 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, they're really limiting their audience there. It's like, how many people buy a PlayStation, and then how many people buy the PlayStation 2 VR, and then it's like, it's just, I don't know. It seemed like it would be a cool game. I just don't see what VR brought to it either, I suppose, is the other thing.
I imagine it'll get released later.
Yeah, even Sony's announced like a dongle to hook up your PSVR 2 to a PC to play
$60 dongle so you can play your Steam VR games.
Yeah.
You gonna get it?
See, the difference there is it's like you've already bought the VR. If you've bought the Meta Quest, I can't see Sony allowing a dongle to hook that up to your PlayStation.
Yeah, people will find its use, I'm sure, but I don't know how popular that'll be. That'll be interesting to see.
I just
they'll
thought
never
really
release numbers
to see exclusive release for a system. Well, not a system, but like the hardware that wasn't like Xbox, PlayStation, PC kind of thing.
Well, VR shouldn't be exclusive right now. There's just no reason.
No, I know. It's like the market is small enough for VR that if you're going to produce a VR game, it's kind of like... Be
Get
like
it out there.
A PC game that's only compatible with like Intel processors or something.
Street Fighter 6 announced some Fatal Fury crossover. You guys are very excited for that. Blumhouse Blumhouse Films has moved into a thing called Blumhouse Games, and they unveiled a bunch of horror games.
Those look like they could go the right way. I saw that trailer. It's like, but horror's horror. What's scary to one person is not scary or entertaining to another.
And Jarrod's the only one that really plays horror games, right?
From time to time.
Yeah,
every once in a while I do, but I still need to finish Resident Evil Village.
Did you even care about any of these, though, that were kind of rifled off?
I watched some of the trailers of them. I was watching the show kind of in the background. It's funny. I had it playing in my car on the way home, just listening to the audio
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because that's all the time I had that day.
Okay.
Yeah, the Sliverhead one looked pretty
Yeah,
cool, but that was like not. I know that was the other studio, but
and that was announced last year.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we saw some gameplay of Slitterhead. It looks interesting.
Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. It's a brawler with the Power Rangers. Did you guys
that
watch
was
this?
actually the best thing I saw on the whole list.
I like that style of game.
I love Turtles in Time and that style of game, and so I
Yeah.
saw that, and I was like, that was the one that was probably the most excited for.
I've never sat down and watched Power Rangers, like no
Neither
Never?
have I.
shows
Ever?
or anything like that. No,
What?
No, never.
I might have caught an episode or two back in the 90s, but that
Yeah.
I've
That's
never,
wild to me. All right, I've
But
seen
needless
so
to
many.
say, I saw that game and I was like, oh, that looks like it'd be really good fun.
Yeah.
The brawling
And
stuff looks fun. Some of the weird, more what do you call that when you're driving on the rails?
Person drive. Yeah,
Like
the
so, I was
rail
like, what is that
driving.
about? Like, is that going to be okay? We'll see, but yeah,
I just
no.
thought that looked like a fun game. I don't know. That's one of those games where it's like depends on the price, doesn't it? As well.
Oh, it'll be like
I mean,
$20.
Yeah, if it's
30
20
bucks with like all the DLC or some bundle of some sort.
Yeah,
Even that last Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fighting game that came out several years back
great.
was cheap.
So good.
You played it. That's
Yeah, I
right.
beat it. It's on Game Pass.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I saw that one, and that was like one that actually,
Go
was,
Power
if
Rangers!
you didn't mention it, I was going to mention it.
Well, I'm just going down the list here. A game that is on Summer Game Fest, but they double dipped on Xbox Showcase. Mecha Break. Basically a mech fighting game. It's
It's very stylized, like in
As long as it's
between
better than
Neon
Rise of the
Genesis and
Robots.
Gundam.
kind of Gundam. They do morph into jets, which I thought was cool. When I first saw it, I thought, like, is this like a Robotech thing? But no.
It looked interesting. I
fine.
don't know. The battles looked kind
It's
of.
fine. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it'll be fine.
those
It'll
games.
hopefully find a space.
Those games always seem awesome, and then you play it, and it's like it's either too much or it's too boring. It's like you
Well,
never have it in the middle. You know?
I'm not a huge fan of dogfighting games because I just get tired of flying around in circles.
Right. First Descendant, they just had another beta because Jarrod was playing it, but they have a full release dropping in July. It's a very sexy Korean, fast-paced exosuit, hot chick game.
What
that's on
what
your
game
list,
was
Ian.
that?
First Descendant.
Did I play that?
Yes, Jarrod, you posted the trailer in the thing. You know, it's like
Oh yeah.
anyway, never mind.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I think it's a free-to-play game, so it doesn't really matter. I believe it's free-to-play.
Oh yeah, I think I posted the thing, but I didn't.
Oh, you didn't
it.
play it? I thought you played it with me on the first time, but maybe you didn't.
Yeah, I downloaded it.
Alan Wake 2 is getting a DLC. None of us have played Alan Wake 2.
I
have
want
we?
to play Alan Wake
Damn.
2, but I waited 10 years after the original one came out to play that one, so I'm okay waiting for this
Yeah,
one.
you can
Since I
wait for a
just
while.
played Alan Wake 1, I don't need to play Alan Wake 2 yet. I'm good.
Skate, the new open world version of after Skate. Hey, listen. I'm a fan of Skate. I have Skate 3. A lot of fun. They have this new version of Skate coming. It looks like this weird, crazy open world craziness. But I don't know.
It's funny. The last time they mentioned it or brought it up in a trailer, like, yeah, we're still working on it, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Valorant is coming to consoles if you want just some new level of toxicity in your life.
I always thought it was on console already. I saw
no.
that announcement. I'm like, isn't it not on PlayStation?
What games? So it's funny that John's not here. Big trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, his Knights in Shining Armor RPG that he liked the first Kingdom
he
Come
loved it,
Deliverance. So the sequel for that's coming.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Like Dave mentioned, Slitherhead. So you found this game interesting, Dave?
It just looked. I don't know about interesting, but it looked creepy, and that that could
Yeah,
go a long
passing
way.
from body to body, I don't know, that whole mechanic could be fun or it could be really
Yeah,
frustrating.
that's the thing about a lot of these trailers. It's like how do they implement the mechanic? Because what's the other one that I thought? Oh, yeah, the Life is Strange one. That
Oh,
was the
yeah,
other
the new
thing.
one.
It's like how you do that mechanic will make or break that game. It could be really cool, but it could be you know terrible.
Yeah.
Trying to take on Call of Duty is Delta Force Hawk Ops.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys. This is not going anywhere. I don't know why anyone tries to do this type of game. Like, just don't. Like, it looks
I don't
so
know.
fake.
I think everyone's ready for something to take over from God.
I get that, but I don't think it's Delta Force Hawk
But
Ops.
you don't think this is? Yeah, I get you.
And you're
This is not
watching it, and they're making call outs, and it just looks. It didn't look that cheap. It actually looked like they put some work into it. But I'm just like, all right, whatever. Kind of funny game that got kind of well received, but I thought it was just like shit. Killer Bean. He's like a coffee
Yeah.
bean,
I
and
missed that one.
it's goofy. I'm not so sure about it.
I saw an article just saying it's like a goofy version of Grand Theft Auto.
Right. Pal World is getting some new shit, a new island. We talked about Monster Hunter Wilds. And then they wrapped up with Phantom Blade Zero, which looks like a samurai ninja Souls game. That's how they wrap, which was very weak. Like, what a kind of sad. Like, it looks good, but it's not like a big game to end your show on. It was very kind of like, oh, and here we are.
Well, it's funny for years, video game fans have been asking for really awesome like games in Japan and all that stuff, and we never really got anything. And then just what in the last few years, we've just been getting inundated with games with the similar setting,
I think that's
and
the thing
it's
about.
going to be hard for some of these games to stand out because it's just such a
Yeah,
common theme now.
I was gonna say like that was one thing I got from a lot of the trailers was it's just really hard to stand out because they're all
Yeah,
graphically they're all very good. You know,
It starts becoming when like it's the art design and the art of the game is interesting, and it's not like
yes,
what stands out is it's not realistic. It's
Yeah.
what kind of is edgy and cool looking to us.
realism is becoming less interesting.
Right, but that's also the measure of power on a
Yeah.
console. So like they
yeah.
still,
It's how do you take that realism and give it a twist that's still
Right.
like showing off what it can do, but
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
so that's Summer Game Fest. It was, like I said, I thought pretty fucking boring.
you
Jeff
forgot
Keighley,
to mention the Fallout 76 expansion and the Starfield.
we haven't
expansion.
got to Xbox yet, Dave.
Oh man,
That was a separate event.
I mean, it's all part of
some.
Summer Game Fest, but this is the Jeff Keighley part. I'm sorry, this is the Jeff Keighley part that was
Sorry,
on.
I shouldn't overstep.
It was on
all
Friday,
good.
and then there was a bunch of shit on Saturday that was just very uninteresting. Like,
Well, Dave, in your defense, Dave, it is harder to keep up with the schedule because it's on several different
Yeah,
channels and different publishers are
it's-
doing this and
Yeah.
that. And,
it's obnoxious.
that it's not just a block of time. It's
Yeah,
all
I was also
weekend,
busy, so
multiple
I just read the
events.
highlights of the
Yeah.
whole weekend.
Xbox was today. We're about to go through all of Xbox's shit, and Xbox's
Oh,
shit
man.
is a fucking banger. Like of
Yeah.
all at least their show brought it. It was just whether you like
Yeah.
Xbox or you don't like Xbox, they brought the goods, and there's about a lot of gameplay, a lot of bangers, and we'll get to it right now. The first thing they launch off their show with COD Blop 6.
Yep.
Yeah, George Bush. Nothing makes me want to play a game more
And
The
seeing
George
Bush talk about communists.
And then Bill Clinton in there.
Oh,
But at
yeah.
least
Yeah.
you're right, Dave. The Firestarter song really fucking like it makes
Yeah.
it work though. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow
Yeah.
meow meow meow. Anyway,
You know, all that trailer did was make me realize how good the song Firestarter is, to be quite honest. I'm like, you could put that song over pretty much any graphics and it would give it like a sense of urgency and the kind of, coolness.
you're right, Dave. I too thought it was a waste of a good song. I mean, what? It's COD Blob 6. It's coming. It's releasing day on date to everything, and it'll be on Game Pass for free. So, put Game Pass on your console or PC, and you don't have to pay for the game.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of games on this list.
actually-
I'll probably do Game Pass for.
I was going to say, I think that was the big thing I got from this list is it's like Game Pass might be worth the money.
But here's the also other thing, like. It's also the place where they just send games out to die.
Yep.
And I also feel like for all the free games that we get, when you have everything at your disposal for free, you tend to not ever use it. So I feel like a lot of these games are just
Yeah. How
Never-
many epic free games or Steam free games do you have in your library that you've never touched?
I have
because
so
we have
many
a
free
lot of
games.
massive first party big ass games
Yeah.
that are coming to Game Pass day and date. And it's like, are they really going to make their money back
Yeah.
on subscription prices? I don't know.
Like even having Game Pass, I still didn't even touch Halo Infinite or like any of the Gears games I missed, and a lot of their flagship stuff. I'm just like, I go on to play this though.
All right, here we go. After COD Blob 6, we have what I thought was really fun to look at was Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah, Doom:
Yep.
The Dark Ages looks awesome.
Before he was a hero, he was what, a weapon of the gods?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I
that
love
just looked-
the Doom games.
It almost reminded me of Quake more than anything, like in the it's just that like really fast running gun.
I like his
With the
cape,
heavy metal
like
music.
his fur cape. He's got a shield. He's got a shotgun.
Yeah.
He walks around in a mech. He flies on a dragon with laser wings. I mean,
Well, I'm excited to see what they do with the music because it's like fantasy death metal. I think that'd be awesome if they integrated the fantasy themes with metal. And so I'm really excited to see that. I want to play it.
but it looked
Yeah.
fast paced. It looks like Doom, just
Yeah,
with the
it's Doom.
a new coat of paint, some new. I mean, that's cool. It's the most interesting I know you guys love the Doom stuff. This is the most interested I've been in a Doom game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I get you.
I do like that they're trying to try something a little different. It's not just
And have fun. Just
Doom
having some
again.
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny too because it's like the Dark Ages, but he's still in a ship. They shoot him down to the ground. It's how is it a prequel? Because he's still doing the same shit. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's
It's funny to
funny.
me. After that, we got a zombie game, my favorite. State of Decay 3. I think this is kind of a surprise. I did not see this coming because State of Decay 2, I don't know if it was a big hit, but it was definitely kind of a launchish title for the Xbox. So State of Decay 3, zombie shooter. Do you guys care about that kind of stuff?
No, I mean
Nah.
it's mostly like a co-op, like survival kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's
The
always
State
been.
of Decay games.
Yeah. But you shoot.
And-
You shoot. It's like Left
Yeah.
4 Dead-ish.
Yeah, I mean, if we had like a group that was into stuff like that, it'd be a lot of fun. But if you're just playing it solo with
Wait.
random people or
A
just
group?
solo,
Of friends that play video games together?
yeah, I know. What's that?
Jarrod, you need to shut the front door.
Yeah.
After that, we got Dragon Age: The Veil Guard.
Yes, please. It looks really good.
No gameplay, but this is a pretty cool cinematic
Engine,
in-engine
stuff,
cinematic
yeah.
trailer that kind of
which could mean a lot of things.
could be. I mean, I'm imagining that this game is gonna. I mean, all the Dragon Age games have been pretty tight. I can't imagine this one's sucking. They did rename this game for this showcase. It was originally called Dreadwolf. That was the original name.
That's right. Yeah, Dreadwolf.
It was very dark branding and very edgy, and then they kind of really lightened it up. It got this purple, and they have this kind of light commercial. And I think they weren't going into this new kind of. I think because they're
a cool trailer.
Competing with Avowed and these other these kind of other RPGs. I don't know.
Yeah, which Avowed looks awesome.
And then, as Dave mentioned, we got the Starfield DLC, which actually looks pretty sick.
Yeah, it does.
Has this kind
Might
of like
fill up a little bit of the universe.
It's got a little bit of this alien fucking vibe thing going on, which is cool. And then, are you gonna play? Did you play Starfield, Dave?
No, it's a game that interests me. I just haven't sorted it out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it works good on PC. I mean, my PC, and it ran just fine.
You're not gonna bother with this though, Jarrod, are you?
I mean, if I get some free time. No.
That age-old chestnut.
I mean, I liked Starfield, but I don't know. The DLC looks better than the game did, so I might jump into the DLC because it looks super interesting.
And then, as Dave also teased, Fallout 76 is getting a new expansion thing, and it comes out June.
It's their first map expansion.
Well, the map expansion comes out June 12th. You will be able to play as a ghoul in 2025.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy, but that's cool.
I think
Probably line it up
what
with
surprised
season
me
2 of the
about that
show.
one is, they've known they're making the TV series for a while. I'm surprised they didn't coordinate it. Well, maybe they were just expecting the TV series to be shit. If you know what I mean.
Have you watched it yet, Dave?
Yeah. Ellen
Super
and I
good,
both
yeah.
watched it, and we really enjoyed it. It was really well done.
Uh,
And they did a good job of you didn't need to know the games or the lore to enjoy it either.
I think they just decided, it is what it is. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place because their next game is, Elder Scrolls. They can't do a Fallout game.
Yeah, 15 years later, we might see Elder Scrolls.
And I think they hoped that it would spur people to go to Fallout. So I think it's perfect that this expansion is ready for that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people thinking like maybe there'd be a third, like another, not Obsidian, but like some other studio making like a Fallout New Vegas Part 2 or something. But
Yeah.
we didn't get that. But I mean, I don't know. I think this is fine. I think
I think it.
the numbers up on this game. I mean, this game is actually a lot of fun. It was always really fun and broken in the beginning, and then it's just gotten way better. But
Well, it's funny because I looked like a couple months ago, and I didn't realize I spent like almost 25 hours in the game. I didn't think I spent that much time in Fallout 76.
I spent so much more than that.
But I had a lot of fun in it. I did. That
But
was like super early.
I used to have a stupid friend from Montana that used to play with me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
don't
joined you
make me
guys once
cry.
or twice.
Anyway, yeah. So Fallout 76, Skyline Valley coming out this week, and then you can expect Ghoul play as a Ghoul sometime next year. So very exciting. Then there was this crazy game called Expedition 33, which looked like a fucking turn-based RPG. Jarrod, I don't know if you saw the trailer for this one.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Very cinematic. But then it had just like, it's turn-based. It's like, not for me.
It looks like it's turn-based, but then it also has like timed counters and stuff like that. So I don't know how that's going to work. Like active time battle kind of stuff. It looked like a really unique battle system.
Which
So,
also has
it'd be
the voice
interesting
guy
to try.
from your Final Fantasy 16, right? Ben.
Oh, was that Ben? Okay.
I think it's
yeah.
Ben. Well,
Okay.
Dave liked Ben, right? The lead
He
character.
was an awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. that
I
was a
think he
great
voices
character.
the lead character in this game. But it looked
Cool.
like a lot of money in this game.
Yeah,
really
it looked
good.
really, really tight, really good.
But then it's like, oh, they're like kind of doing a turn-based thing, and I don't know if that's my
Well,
cup
the
of tea.
concept is cool. It's like every year, this what they call it, the painter or something like that, like writes the next year
Oh,
down. It's
right,
like a
right,
big
right.
yearly countdown, and every time the year comes around, like everybody around dies, and it like resets everything. So, I guess Expedition 33 is the one that's really trying to make an impact. They're tired of losing people. It's like the Infinity Gauntlet snap, pretty much. It's pretty wild.
Another
It'd be-
game. I mean, they showed
Yeah.
so many cool visual. Like this next game visually is super cool. South of Midnight.
That's the one that really stood out for me.
Really kind of creative concepts like giant animals and shit. But then the music in it is fucking killer. And then it has this very filmic stop and go shuddery
24 frames a
effect
second.
thing going on. Even more than 24 frames. This is very like it's very shuddery. It's a very kind of a cool trailer.
Like old stop motion kind of stuff.
But then the gameplay is just like a third world kind of open world adventure
In the bayou.
in the bayou. It's just very
It looks
kinda,
really good.
very crazy, weird. Just they announced this game a while back, but this is like the first gameplay we've seen of it, I believe.
Yeah. I
And,
absolutely want to play that though.
sometime next year. But it looks super cool. So if you haven't seen that trailer, South of Midnight is something you should check out. I think that's really kind of cool. It has potential.
Lots. The voice acting was top tier. They did really good in the trailer, at least.
And then just like the character design, like the giant catfish and then the giant crazy crocodile with like
The big
its nose
crocodile.
missing
It's
and
an
shit.
island,
It's just
pretty much.
wild.
Yeah.
But then it's still just that kind of like action adventure-y third-person game. So
With a lot of different traversal options. I
Yeah,
noticed she had like light power or something like that. She could like have a glider, a zip line kind of thing.
none of that's been
ways to
explained. So
transport.
like we don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it'll be super interesting.
Dave, just for you, World of Warcraft getting a new expansion.
Oh, I know. I saw that. I was like, where do I send my money?
Yeah. I kind of expect some time for him to make like now on Xbox.
I'm actually surprised that this
announcement.
was in this showcase because like why wouldn't they just be in the PC showcase? Because this isn't on Xbox. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird pull, but whatever. If you like World of Warcraft, there you go. And then, my friends, we get the first trailer and gameplay of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
The voice.
And we get the voice, David
The
Hayter.
voice.
It's all the original voices. This looks fucking sick. Like, a lot of Konami stuff, garbage. This trailer gave me a lot of hope that this might actually be pretty fucking good.
I hope so.
This is like a hype trailer. Like, watching this, like, oh, shit. I might actually have to play this. Like, not like, okay, I'll check it out eventually. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, Snake Eater was one of my favorites. I loved Snake Eater. Spending time in that world will be interesting. It seems like they're really leaning on the camouflage aspect this time. It was a neat novelty.
It was always like that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I might not have utilized it as well as I should when I played the game. But
I always utilized it.
yeah, I mean, I remember switching around, but maybe I was just really bad at it.
Did you get around to watching that trailer, Dave, or no?
No, I missed that one.
Oh.
That's the one of the few I didn't watch.
Yeah, check it out if you're interested. Anyway.
Snake Eater.
The song. Yeah, the song's got to make it back.
Oh, it totally will. Come on. Then we got a trailer for Sea of Thieves Season 13, which is now on PlayStation if you want that. But
That game does look fun.
pirate stuff. We got another game, some kind of game, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Just like a third-person action game. Was it third person or was it first person?
I don't remember.
Nah, it looked fine.
The trailer was pretty stylized, and most of the words that popped up on the screen were blocked by whatever they were showing. So I don't know.
We got Age of Mythology, another kind of Civ game, but not Civ.
Yeah.
And
Never
then
got into that series either.
Perfect Dark showed up. Supposedly this game was announced way back. It was rumored that it was in a troubled development cycle, and then this trailer showed up. Dave, did you watch this one?
Yeah, I did actually.
What did you think of this one?
Looks pretty killer. Huh?
It looked like a really pretty game. I just didn't see anything that really made it stand out. You know, it's like all of the mechanics that I saw have been done in other games, and so it could be a really cool game. Don't get me wrong. It's just it didn't seem like there was anything like super new about it. But I never played the original Perfect Dark either. So
Yeah, same here. So I don't know like anything about Joanna Dark and what makes her so special and why this game is starring her specifically, like her.
My understanding is, isn't this
talents.
just a multiplayer game?
Yeah, I think on the N64,
there was no
like
there was no.
I think there was a single player on it, but it was definitely one of those carts you bought because it was basically GoldenEye
2.0. Yeah.
Playing with your bros.
Yeah.
The game looked fine. I'm not gonna play that. Come on, I don't care. It's not.
It'll live or die on its story, I think. Yeah.
But even that seems so cliche and.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not. I don't know. It was. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have much faith in that, but yeah, Perfect Dark has this like kind of storied past, but I feel like you're right, David. It exists because of GoldenEye, not because of its.
Yeah, I always back in the day. I always remember people talked about Perfect Dark because the multiplayer was better than GoldenEye, not because it was necessarily.
I've put that in a 64. I don't think there's a story campaign. I think it's only multiplayer. Can someone read? Like, we could Google that, I guess. But I've always felt when I put it in the machine, there's just the only option is to play multiplayer. I don't know. And then we got a trailer, a cinematic trailer for Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, which is
that trailer was so cool.
Oh man, it's brutal. It's pretty aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to play more of that game, but
people
too many games.
People complain about tits and ass, and then sure, but it's okay when you just like rip someone's arms in half down the middle.
That was crazy.
That was like, what? That's cool. Yeah, I can't see some tits and ass in a bikini. That's gonna piss you off. Yeah, this is cool. Like, get fucked. Like, I don't understand that shit. Yeah, that was a brutal trailer. Some of it's really brutal. Gross. But what is? This is like a DLC expansion, and then we're getting a new class. Yeah, a new character class, which I'm guessing we don't really know, but maybe has something to do with the tar shit.
Yeah, probably. I don't know exactly, but makes me really want to jump back into the game and experiment with the other classes.
But that's going to cost money,
a couple.
Right? That's going to cost. That's gonna,
oh yeah, that'll be a paid expansion.
That'd be like a
unless
$20.
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, this is on Game Pass, of course.
Yeah, Game Pass for free.
Good for you, Microsoft people.
Thanks.
But yeah, I mean, do I really need to spend more than 180 hours in Diablo? I don't know. I've spent my time. And then we got a pretty good size look at Fable. Fable 3, technically, but Fable. Yep. Right? Fable 3 or Fable 4?
Oh, Fable 4.
Is it a reboot of the first one, or is it?
No, it's a continuation.
Different one.
It's a continuation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there was 3 Fables. I played the first. Well, I didn't play the first one, but I played 2 and 3. I do want to play the first one.
Or I think I might have played like 5 minutes of it. Yeah.
It looks good.
This was originally like a Peter Molyneux over talking a game, but they couldn't do the tech that he wanted apparently. So, but it was still awesome.
Yeah. So this game is developed by Playground, which is the Forza Horizon.
Yeah, Forza Horizon team. It's so cool. I can't wait to see.
They've never made this type of game. They've always done their fucking race car games, and now they're doing. And the game looks incredible. I believe there's some play. It looks like there's some game footage in here, but maybe not. Like some of it looks like.
Yeah, it's hard to tell nowadays because the cinematics can be the gameplay footage.
It's pretty funny. Has some funny moments in it.
Yeah.
I just feel
No,
like
no
it's a
idea
game
how.
I probably won't play, just not because it's a bad game or anything, but because it's not on a system I own. And
Well, it's fantasy, Dave. Dave doesn't play fantasy
Yeah.
games. Dragons and wizards.
Yeah.
until I do, but
Until he
Yeah.
does.
He did well. Final Fantasy 16 had dragons
yeah,
and kind of wizard because there was magic.
yeah. There's definitely magic. That was definitely not hard
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Yeah, but he was really sexy. Like the chick and the dude in this are just like fugly as fuck. Anyway.
That's funny.
Let's see. We'll skip that. We'll skip these. What, Jarrod? I'm interested in your take on. Did you see Mixtape, or Dave? Did you see Mixtape?
It looked interesting.
It did.
Yeah, it's trying something different. I don't know what they made before, but
It's kind of got that Life is Strange vibe,
yeah.
but
They have like huge artists in the soundtrack of the game, which makes me interested because I love when music is placed in a game appropriately, where it just really meshes with what's going on. As recent example, I guess would be Death Stranding or Hi-Fi Rush, doing that kind of stuff, and you're like, yeah, all right, this is hitting right, and you're just really, really emotionally involved in it.
Dave, it's kind of a mysterious adventure coming of age story, and then each of their like little adventures are set to a song.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And it's kind of
The trailer's really interesting.
yeah,
I
it's
like the
interesting.
art style.
I mean, the art style is very kind of like weird and kind of retro.
Yeah.
Not retro. That's like painterly. It's interesting. It's interesting
It's
art style.
artistic.
Yeah, it's
an
not
artistic.
retro
game.
is the wrong word. Anyway. Then we got a tease for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. You can do
I skipped
all
that trailer.
You can do all the flyings. You can do all the different type of flyings, if you want to fly, you can do the flying. Elder Scrolls Online had a celebration of 10 years, and I guess right now you can play all the DLC for free.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that what the Gold Road is?
I think so. I think right now to prep you for whatever's coming, you can play everything for free if you have it. So you can launch back in. I don't know how long that lasts or whatever,
Yeah, I don't know.
but if you so desire.
So
10 years of
recently there was,
DLC.
like, there just as an example of how it could go, like the Final Fantasy 14, I think right now you can do like jump back in for free, but it's only like 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Real quick trial essentially.
I don't know how long the trial is.
Yeah, so I'll have to research that because I really love Elder Scrolls Online. I played a lot of that, and I would like to finish. I forgot which DLC I bought, but I didn't finish it. I've made it a good chunk of the way. I bought a lot of the DLC for it.
All right. Who's going back to Life is Strange? Double exposure.
I didn't play the second one.
No, neither did I. I enjoyed the first one though.
Yeah, the first one was great. I'd like to play the second one someday. I might even own it. I don't know.
So no interest.
Yeah, I'm
then?
not sure. I'm not sure if they gave it to us on PSN.
Yeah, I don't know.
but-
Somewhere.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I thought it looks awesome. It's very Indiana Jones.
It is
I
very
missed
in
Indiana
my
Jones.
opinion. Very, very Indiana Jones. I want to play it bad.
Okay. All right. Avowed.
Yes, please.
This is the Obsidian kind of fable,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of games taking what Elder Scrolls should be. It's just like, here's big fantasy explorer RPG thing. Everyone's doing it, and then there's going to be so much going into Elder Scrolls since it's forever from now.
Mhm.
And there's all these games that are just going to crush it. They look like they have such high potential. And I have faith in this Avowed game. Everything I've seen just looks so cool. The
You know what's
graphic
crazy too, because it's
fidelity
Obsidian.
is
They're
so
also
beautiful.
working on a sequel to Outer.
Wilds.
Is it Wilds?
Worlds.
Outer Worlds, yes.
Yeah,
Not
Outer
Wilds.
Worlds.
Outer Worlds. The space one.
Such
it's like
bad timing for those two games to come out next to each other.
This team is just like constant, and then I'm pretty sure Bethesda's gonna want them to make Fallout 7 or Fallout New Vegas 2. And we'll see.
Man,
That'd be
they're gonna
awesome.
A lot of
busy.
people want that.
You know how many
yeah.
people would like just like lose their boners? Like their boners would just like come off and fly around and like go through their heads and like kill them maybe? Like like
There's
including Jean and Nick. Like they would just their boners would just like cut off. They would fly off and just like go in their mouths and it would just fly around. Like they would have like
It'd be raining.
yeah. It would
too
just,
much excitement
too
for
much.
those guys.
Anyway, then we got a game from a little British studio called Rebellion, and I kind of thought this might have been some kind of weird prequel Fallout game, but it actually ended up being this game called Atomfall, which is a very kind of weird. Actually, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
I like Rebellion games. They're the ones that do the sniper games. They
Mhm.
do the Army of Zombies games. And then they did this game that I played called Strange Brigade that I really liked. But yeah,
I
they're doing
remember you talking about that.
Atomfall, which is this very kind of interesting game that probably won't do very well. I didn't realize that Rebellion was owned by Microsoft now.
That's a shame.
Yeah, we won't get to play it unless you install Game Pass on your PC.
Yeah, I
Now,
mean,
that's assuming they don't close the studio down before it gets
probably
released.
get a used Xbox Series S for like less than $200.
Well, that sniper game is still pretty popular, so I imagine Sniper Elite or whatever it's called is still a pretty big. So they probably have to do another one of those. So I'm assuming that's why Microsoft bought them. Anyway,
Well, you can always do the big announcement and get the Xbox X
yeah.
without the.
Oh yeah, get
without the
the
drive,
digital
yeah.
only Series X with
Yep.
the 2 terabyte hard drive. Ooh,
So I know I'm gonna play this. It goes without saying. I'm a huge fan of this franchise, but I'll let you guys talk about it. See if it gets you guys into it. I know Dave talked about it a little bit earlier. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Go.
it looks really amazing. I think
I'm
This
excited.
is-
I'm excited
yeah.
to play it. I really, if they can channel Origins again, then I'm in.
Yeah, I mean its graphic like look is like top notch. I mean they've been working on this for a long time. It was leaked forever ago. This one's probably been in the can for so long that they've just been trying to polish it as much as possible because everybody's been asking for Assassin's Creed in Japan since
Yep.
the dawn of time, essentially.
The
And
dawn
they're-
of time.
they're finally
So long
The
that
dawn of,
other studios said, "Oh fuck it. Well, if they're not going to do it, we'll
yeah,
do it."
exactly.
Yep.
And now they have a big push to do better. You know, they've got to bring their game.
Any
Yeah.
concerns on the having the dual protagonists?
I don't know how that's going to be used. Like, are you going to have to use both, or is it like essentially you got to pick your play style? You're going to be the stealthy character, or are you going to be the one that just wants to fight stuff?
I'm thinking it's going to be like Syndicate, where you have to play story missions with certain ones,
Yeah,
but in the open world stuff, you can play as whoever you want. That's
Yeah, that'll be
that's how
interesting to
Syndicate
see.
was. Like I would play, I'd only play the dude when I had to play the dude, and then when I was in just doing open world stuff, I'd immediately switch back to the
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, I hope they don't do a Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, the zoom out and zoom in and all that.
No,
stuff,
just with
fly
the
out.
two like stories and all the rest of it, and it's
Yeah.
just like, ugh.
I think it's one story, but I think you switch
But like,
between them.
yeah, the character, you definitely like one character more than the other.
Well, there are very two different. Like one's like kind of a ninja stealth, and the other one's like a full frontal attack, brutal samurai guy. So it is, and they're both. Well, I know the one dude is based off actual samurai from Japan. I'm not sure who she's based off of, but Anyway, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, looks great. Yeah, I want to try it. If anything, like, because I want to try it, I could just subscribe to Ubisoft Plus for a month or something like that for what, $16,
I gotta buy it. Come on, I'm an
and
Assassin's Creed.
give it a shot.
Assassin's Creed for life, baby.
Yeah, I've beat like 2 Assassin's Creed games, I think, maybe 3.
Have you played
Out
any,
of,
Dave?
like,
Just Origins or Odyssey?
I've played Odyssey, and I want to say I have played another.
yeah. So I'm not like a massive fan of Assassin's Creed. I like the couple I've beat, especially
Yeah,
Brotherhood. But
I've
yeah,
enjoyed the ones I've played. That's definitely where I would go.
And then we got what I thought was something along the lines of Metro, but it actually ended up being Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl.
never played the first one.
So this is also another Russian game, though. That's why I kind of thought it was Metro.
No, Ukrainian.
Ukraine. Sorry,
It was made in Ukraine. Yeah,
sorry, Jared. You're
I think
you are correct.
Ukrainian
it says
folks
Ukraine
would be
right here.
Very, very offended.
I am very offended because they're yes. I'm actually reading it right here. It says Ukraine, and I should have read it before I opened my stupid mouth. I apologize deeply. I will whip myself later. But yeah, Stalker 2 looks really good. I'm probably not going to play it, but it's not my type of... I mean, it's a first-person shooter, but it's just... I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of mostly over the military shooter thing.
It has some sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mutated monsters.
Yeah, but every game has mutants of some type.
It is weird how closely this is to Metro. Except there's no gas mask, so it's not as fucking claustrophobic.
Jinx.
It looks good though, and I think the first Stalker was a pretty big hit, so I'm sure there's people that are gonna play it. All right, here we go, another Dude Bro game. The Gears of War prequel, E-Day.
I'm interested.
I thought they were going to kiss at the end of the trailer.
Those are games. I wish I went through 4 and 5 when I had Game Pass. I don't currently subscribe to Game Pass, but I will
You can fix that,
eventually again. But it doesn't matter because this is a prequel, so I don't have to worry about it.
I like the callback to the song. The trailer's fun.
That original Gears of War trailer was super good. Yeah, that was like one of the greatest.
Part of me thought it was
of all
like going to
time.
be like a remake of that because they did the callback of the song. Because that's
Yeah.
Gears of War 2, right? That trailer?
Yeah.
So I thought it was like...
was that 2? Yeah.
I think it's 2, isn't it?
I don't
think it's
recall,
2.
honestly.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that
2.
song was everywhere for a while. wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
E-Day.
good.
So this is the
That's
day
such a good
this is the day it happens.
Is that E for Emergence?
Emergence Day. This is the Emergence Day. So this is like... It's a prequel of the whole franchise. They're younger, obviously, in the trailer. You're like looking at it as like... Because if you've played... You know what's funny? I played Gears of War 5, so like and 4, I think. Anyway. So like, obviously Dom is fucking old in those games.
Yeah, of course.
So in this game, he's like fucking young. Anyway. I mean... I'm probably not going to play this, but it's like... What would they have done with Gears of War at this point? I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a franchise at its end. So you have to like go back.
Yeah, really.
we'll
Like,
see.
What more can you do?
I mean, at this point, the coalition has to be really hitting its prime, right? I mean, this is like their third Gears, right? The coalition, because didn't it pass from what Epic or whoever
Epic
had it
was
first?
Epic was the original.
Yeah, and then Coalition, I think, took it over from Gears of War 3. Was it 3 or 4?
3, because 4 and 5 are Coalition.
Yeah. So they've got to be hitting.
I think the Coalition also didn't they
Their
also do
stride.
the strategy games? Or
I
no?
don't recall.
No.
I never played. I played a demo
Oh.
of the Gears one.
I don't know. It's a
yeah.
game. I don't. I think it hit some people nostalgically, but I don't know how big of a hit that it actually is. And we also didn't see gameplay. Gameplay is probably just the same as it always is. I don't know.
Yeah, be interesting
Likely.
to see how it does.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm interested.
All right.
I'll keep watch.
That's all I have, Dave. Do you have any other trailers that you watched that you want to talk about that I did not have?
No, I think we hit most of them. Like I say, Power Rangers was the only was the most surprising one to me that I was like, oh, that looks like it could be really fun.
That's where we're at. Dave's Game of Show, Power Rangers. How about you, Jarrod? What was your Game of Show?
Best in show.
Best in Show, Power Rangers.
The one I am most likely to buy, or at least the one that I'm going to buy sooner than later, is Astrobot.
And for me, well, I'm definitely buying the Star Wars game. That's at the end of August, so I'm actually buying that one. And then I will buy also the Assassin's Creed, and that's the end of November. So it's Ubisoft. So, you know, even though we're not talking about the Ubisoft Forward showcase that happens tomorrow, the two big games that they're probably promoting are the two games I'm probably going to end up buying. So, there you go.
Yeah, you play a lot of Ubisoft games. You do.
Probably more than I should.
Yeah. I mean, what's that thing that's on your microphone?
Oh, Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed wristband.
I play the Crew. I play. I
mean, the Division.
I do play the Division, but that, you know, they haven't really. You know, the Division team did tease some kind of expansion for Division 2.
Well, they canceled the mobile game.
Yeah. Well,
so
they also canceled the free-to-play game.
What they do with the Division, because that's such a cool series. We both played the first and second one, so that's something to look forward to. I hope they show something for what's coming in the future of the Division. I didn't play the DLC. You did, or did I?
You played. We all played it together.
Yeah,
I think we all played. We played quite a bit of it together.
Yeah, that's right. I did buy it, and we all scheduled like a night.
We played it a little bit, and then we never got to the final boss of it.
Yeah,
I needed help for that.
That's
we never did it. You know.
Yeah, you got locked into the DLC. You couldn't come back.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's right.
I'm stuck in this thing, and it won't let you get out. So fucking dumb.
Son of a bitch.
Stupid. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it. And is there someone else? Anything else you want to say, or any words from the PC game show, or?
I didn't watch the PC game show. Just it's funny with all these amazing titles coming out. It just seems like 1 year from now that all these games are going to be mostly out, like a good chunk of them. And I'm still working on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, dude. Like I bought that 2 months ago, and I played a lot of it. I'm so far into that, and I just couldn't imagine how long some of these games are going to be. I'm struggling with the length of some of these games. I'm kind of hoping that games aren't all going to be just so massive that it's hard to get through.
It's also been a weird year where it's like a quiet year, but also a quietly busy year.
Yeah. Like huge games, so much content.
And then next year just sounds like all the games are coming out. So then
every goddamn game.
Yeah, it's going to be really crowded.
And then 2026 is like, oh, we're getting ready to release new consoles. Is what's going to happen. So it's like, here we go again.
Yeah, and at this point, Sony hasn't even really dropped their load of what's going to come out in the next couple of years. You know, it's just like they're kind of structuring themselves on indies essentially, and kind of going with maybe some free to play stuff here and there.
I mean, I had to mention it, but like Jarrod and I have been playing a bunch of Destiny 2.
Oh yeah, a lot of D2. Yeah, so much.
Just to make sure we maintain that we're back on this Destiny 2 kick in the podcast. You know, trying to get our member listeners back up. And then end of this month is fucking fucking Elden Ring Erd Tree shit.
Yeah,
dude, you gotta get on that.
Oh jeez,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not even fair. I'm still struggling inside whether or not I'm gonna buy that on launch.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not gonna buy it on launch. I'm gonna because it launches on the weekend before we leave, Dave,
That's right.
and then we're leaving. I'm not gonna buy it till like somewhere in July. I'm not gonna buy it in June. I'm not gonna get to it.
I think I'm gonna wait and see if, because in the past, most From Software DLC is their hardest, most difficult content. I'm gonna wait and see what people say about it. If it's crushing them, I'm not gonna get it.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
want to
it,
deal with that.
but I'm like because I didn't beat the game.
You didn't?
No, I never beat the final boss.
What?
I made the tremendous move to just not beat the final boss. So my character is like level 200 and something.
But I've heard that won't even matter.
Yeah, no, it'll carry over and you can respec.
Yeah.
But like they give you listening to the people. The important thing is if you've beaten the game, you have to go back and beat more bosses to get into it. The fact that I haven't beat the game means I can just take my character into the DLC at level. So it should be wonderful. I should be fine.
Yeah, I think I'm like my new game plus that I started. I think I can just run to where I need to be and beat the boss. I think I actually recently beat that boss.
Because everything I was listening to on podcasts and stuff, everyone like the kind of like specs that they build for the characters that they play when they let them test, they're like at like a level 140, 150.
Huh. Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, such a cool game. It'd be a hard one to pass up.
all right, what else we got? Couch co-optionals. Things that you guys listened to, watched, tasted, drank, felt, petted, looked at, heard. I don't know.
Been a quiet week.
Well, I had my
I'm
cat
still
in my
reading the
lap
Expanse
earlier.
books. So
Oh, you've been reading the Expanse books?
yeah, I'm on to I think the 6th or the 7th one now, and
Wow, cool.
really enjoying it. But I think I've mentioned that before. So
I think you mentioned
Man,
it last
time
week.
to read. That's
Yep.
crazy thought.
How about you, Jared?
Actually,
You got
like,
something for the good of the
2 weeks
order,
now.
like a hot sauce?
No, my wife and I finally sat down together and watched Ted Lasso season 1. We're working on season 2.
Finally, holy
Yeah,
fucking
shit!
finally.
Where have you been? How did
Did
you
you
make
enjoy
it?
it?
Well,
How did
well,
you
I
make
had-
it through
I
the
had-
pandemic without Ted Lasso?
Well, it was,
yeah,
I heard everybody talking about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, sports.
It couldn't
stuff
possibly be that
and
good.
Okay. But yeah, it's not even that. It's like, it's like, hey, a big game's coming up. And then the screen goes black and comes back. Oh, that game was shit. Like it doesn't even focus on the actual football game.
No.
But yeah, that's such a wonderful show. I'm excited to see how it ends because, as far as I know, season 3 is just the end of the show.
Right.
Yeah, so
No,
we're
it's
most
great.
of the way through season 2,
That's a great show.
and yeah, what a great cast of characters.
Awesome. Glad you finally watched it. It could be one
Everything's
of those
great, yeah.
things where everyone loves, like, I get that. Everyone loves something, and you're like, just kind of like, I don't want to watch this. Just because everyone loves it,
yeah.
I'm going to be a detractor.
Yeah.
Or it just doesn't seem like it'd be your kind of thing.
Well,
Right.
I was interested in it. I even showed my wife a trailer to it when it first came out. Everybody's talking about it, like, yeah, check this out. Everybody's talking about this. We're both just like, huh, okay.
It's about relationships. It's not about soccer.
Yeah. So we really are like, the characters. We're really interested in their arcs and where they're going and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah. Apple TV Plus.
Woo woo. All right, Dave.
Whoop whoop.
A donut you had, maybe? No. Anyway, go
Ooh,
ahead.
I had Krispy Kreme. It was just National Donut Day.
Oh, nice.
On Friday
Nice.
or Saturday. Yeah, Friday.
Go ahead, Dave.
I haven't got much this week.
Nothing.
I've been like working.
A favorite shoe or
Well, he said
toilet
the
paper?
Expanse books.
No, but
I did say that-
he's mentioned those already.
I know. That's why I said I'm still reading. There's 10 of them
Still-
or whatever. So it
Have
takes a
you?
while to get.
What record have you been listening to?
Elysium, or how about this beer behind you? Elysium
Uh,
Barley
I have
Ale.
I've been listening to the Toy Dolls, which
Toy
is a punk
Dolls.
band,
Huh.
which are kind of amusing and like
I will look it up.
I find them funny.
Oh, okay, it's like a humorous one. Just what they talk about.
They can be. It's I have a bunch of their albums, and every so often I like to listen to them.
All right.
Cool.
They're in my search history.
Toy
now. Got it.
Dolls.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm
I'll
going
listen
to
to those.
recommend the new Transformers comic from Image Comics.
Cool.
It's a retelling of basically the Gen 1 story of them coming to Earth and crashing and figuring out, finding spot, like, any, but it's just done way better and way more like contemporary, and
How are the feet?
feet are great. Starscream, actually grabs a human and like squishes them in their hands.
Man, so it's pretty violent.
It's
Oh, nice.
it was violent, but it's
Edgy.
not. It's just like more proper, like not like how you watch these Michael Bay Transformers. It's like they all like, they don't do any of that.
Yeah, don't hurt
Yeah,
the human.
Or
Real
like
nice.
the other comics, they didn't do any of that. The cartoons, they don't do any of that. And like the Decepticons are awful, evil beings, and like it's just like pop, And then there's just a lot of cool, like different, like kind of twists on certain things that happen, and it's a lot of fun. And that's my brief little summary. I was supposed to do a podcast with Matt today. We were gonna dissect the first 8 issues, so
Well-
I was just itching to talk about it.
Okay.
So
Well, the thing I've been wanting to hear you talk about, I don't think you've talked with Matt about you've mentioned that you were getting it, but the new Wolverine series that's out.
it's not out
Was
yet.
that? No?
No, it's
not
out
yet?
No.
Oh,
They just
damn,
wrapped up
okay.
They just wrapped up Wolverine, the proper series. They just like wrapped up all the X-Men series and can't like stopped them, and now they're relaunching all of the X-Men and Wolverine stuff. So
Huh. Okay.
that's coming. So I haven't
Nice.
read any of the newest, latest, best.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I think because the X-Men got really out there and crazy sci-fi weird and wild, and I think they needed to wrangle them back into a point where they could control them again and prep them for the films that are eventually coming, because the comics were pretty wild out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway. And if
Funny.
you, it's all really great stuff. It was just like, wow, this is a take on the X-Men.
They're going out there trying
Yeah.
something different, huh?
Well, Krakoa Island was this island way back in Giant Size X-Men #1 where they went and fought, and it was like a mutated island, mutant, and then so that thing came back, and it's like, well, it's just where all the mutants lived, and their powers were enhanced by it. It was very sci-fi weird.
Yeah.
Slightly psychedelic. It was just a wild trip, different, just very different. And I think that if you were to look at an X-Men comic and then look at an X-Men movie or like X-Men '97, it's just vastly different
I get that.
experiences.
Yeah.
And I think they needed to zero that out in preparation for the machine, the Hollywood machine, which is sad, but whatever.
Yeah. I understand though. Yes.
But there was some really creative shit that went on in X-Men. Super popular with the fans. So anyway. Okay. Well, let's get out of here, I guess, then, huh?
Yes, sirree.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for listening and checking us out on the interwebs. You can find our podcast on all the platforms, Spotify and Amazon and Audible, iTunes. You can find us on our YouTube page. Well, my YouTube page, youtube.com/MilkmanPictures. I want to thank my co-hosts, Jarrod and Dave, for joining me here on the couch.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa, night for couch co-op of me and reminding you to please be excellent to each other.
Wild stallions.